In this sponsored tutorial, we're going to check out LogicHop, which is a paid plugin that allows you to personalize the content on your website based on a user's actions on your site or where they came from to visit your site, or both of those. And it integrates with Divi, Elementor, Gutenberg, WooCommerce, and personalization. If you do a little research, it basically leads to much higher conversions, hundreds of % higher conversions if you're selling something on your site. So personalization is definitely a powerful way to make more sales and make the user experience on your site better. And I'm going to show you how it all works starting right now. My name is Bjorn Allpass from WP Learning Lab. Make sure you subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss any new videos. Let's get started. The plugin that's giving us the power to do all this stuff is called LogicHop. And I have it installed right here. All you have to do is get the plugin from the WordPress repository, go to the settings page, and then add your API key here, which you get from the LogicHop website after you purchase. I'll show you how to do that at the end of the video, but first I want to show you the power of this plugin. Now, the very first thing you need to know about LogicHop and any personalization script or software or plugin is the conditions. The conditions are what you tell the plugin to look for to display certain things. So a condition could be, for example, the visitor has visited this page 2 times, so show them some kind of discount code. That could be the condition. And you set that up under conditions right here. We're going to set those up in just a minute. Logic blocks allow you to show content based on conditions being met. They can be your custom-made conditions, or they can be conditions that are already predefined in the plugin. There's a whole bunch of them. I'll show you them in a little bit. Logic bars, same idea, only instead of a logic block, which you can put anywhere using a shortcode, a logic bar is a bar that appears at the top of the website, right up at the top, that says something, some kind of call to action that shows up when certain conditions are met. And goals allow you to keep track of users and their sessions and give them lead scores. And based on those lead scores, you can show them different content, different offers, different whatever you think is necessary to drive them towards whatever your website's goal is. You can show them based on lead scores. And lead scores just add up points for taking certain actions. So maybe you assign scores for visiting product pages, or for leaving comments on your blog, or for various things that people do on your site. You can assign lead scores for that. 2 very important things to note. GDPR. I know a lot of you guys are worried about that. And here we have a require consent item in the settings. And we can require consent either never for visitors from GDPR countries, from visitors from the European Union, or all visitors. And this is a little bar that pops up and says, do you consent to cookies? You've seen that before, and they either say yes or no. And if they say no, personalization with LogicHop still works, but it only works for the current session. There is no data stored in a cookie, not in a WordPress transient, nowhere besides the current PHP session, which is erased once they leave the website. So even when they opt out, things like conditions, logic bars, logic blocks, geolocation, query strings, registering actions on the site, all those things still work if they opt out. Just doesn't work beyond the current session. And I've linked to a help page in the description down below if you want more information about the consent or GDPR compliance. And the user data itself is stored either in a cookie, a PHP session, or a WordPress transient. You can set the cookie duration with this option here. And the cookie duration basically means if someone visits your site and they're cookied, how long is that cookie valid for? And usually the shorter the better. And when they clear their cache and cookies, that cookie will be deleted anyway. But generally, I would say for privacy reasons, the shorter the better. So if you go 1 week or 1 month, that'll probably be the longest I would go personally, but you can go up to 1 year with this plugin. And at the very bottom of the settings page, you can choose to use WordPress transients, which stores the data as WordPress transients in the database instead of PHP sessions. If you felt like that went right over your head, don't worry about it, because you don't need to know that stuff to actually use the plugin. I just wanted to make you aware of how it works. And we're going to get started creating a logic block right now by clicking on logic blocks on the left, and then click on add new. And we're just going to use the default conditions that come with the plugin, that come right built in. So let's call this returning visitor hello. You can give this whatever name you want. This is only seen in the back end. It's for your reference. And the condition we're going to use is if something happens. This is very common for conditions. It's the only option, in fact. If select condition, if this happens, if this is a user's first visit to the website, and that condition is met, we're going to show the content that appears here. Hi, welcome to the website for the first time. Then, where it says end if, I'm going to say else. And this is saying if this condition here is not met, so if this is not the user's first visit, we're going to show this content. We're going to say, welcome back, because if they're not a first-time visitor, they are a returning visitor. And if you wanted to have more conditions, you change this to an else if, and then keep adding more and more and more, then the last one will be an else. And if you have any programming knowledge, that probably makes a lot of sense. If you don't have any programming knowledge, you just acquired some. And then click on Publish, and we're going to copy this shortcode, and I'm going to add it to a new page. I'm going to Control click or Command click to create a new page. I'm going to call this Home Page. Use the default editor, not a page builder. Paste in the shortcode. Click on Publish and Publish. Then I'm just going to copy this URL. And we're going to open this in a different browser, because for this to work, we have to visit the site, leave the site, come back to the site. And the first time we visit has to be the first time we've been there. And this is a local site, and I know I've not yet been there in Firefox. So if I fire up Firefox, it should register as my very first visit, and we should get the welcome to the site for the first time message. Whereas if I were to visit the site with my current browser, Google Chrome, since I've been on the site before recently, just a few minutes ago in fact, it will register as me being a returning visitor and show us the returning message. So we've got Firefox booted up over here. Let's view this page. And now we have our message, hi, welcome to the website for the first time, because it was our first time here. Now we have to leave the website completely. We can't just go to a different page and come back to here, because that would still be the same visit, the same session on the site, and LogicHop keeps track of that. So we want to leave the site. If we go to Google, we have now left the site completely. And now if we go back to this site, we should be seeing the new message appear, or the return visitor message appear. And here we see, as expected, it says welcome back, because it's noted that we are a return visitor and not a first-time visitor. That's what we call personalization. And you can add data into here as well. If you have a CRM that links into LogicHop, I'm going to show you a couple of them later, Drip is one of them, and it allows you to pull data from that CRM and personalize this page to specific individuals in your mailing list. And when they leave this page, so they maybe travel to Product 1 or Elementor Personalization or Divi Personalization or a different page on the site, your site remembers where they were and who they are. And it keeps this all anonymous. It's not viewed by anybody. It's not stored anywhere near the LogicHop servers. It's all on your website or in a PHP session or in a cookie. So it's GDPR compliant as long as you mention on your privacy policy and have that cookie allow button enabled. Close these two tabs and take a look at other conditions that are built right into the plugin that you don't have to create yourself. So we used user's first visit, but any of these other conditions can be used to display information right out of the box. And if that does not cover your needs, you can go to conditions on the left here and then click on add new to create your own custom conditions. So for this demo condition, we're going to offer a discount code to people who visit a certain product page, and we're going to do that with a logic bar. So I'm going to type right in here just product 1 discount. That's going to be our condition. Not going to fill in the description because I just explained it. To create our conditional statement, we have our if, and then for select type, we're going to select specific page views, all visits. That means that all visits from that visitor. So if LogicHop gets data from this visitor for multiple months on your site, this references all those visits. The current session is just the visit that they're doing right now. So I'm going to choose all visits. And as you saw in here, let me open this up again. There are a lot of options for conditions in here, much more than when you create the logic block. And you can create these conditions and then add them to your logic block or logic bar, the way I'm going to show you in just a minute. So we're going to use all pages, or a specific page, all visits. You start typing in here the title of the page, and I know it's called product 1. So it pulls in the product 1 page, click on that. And then we have to specify the number of visits. So if we read this statement, it basically says if someone visits this specific page, the product 1 page, equal to 1 time, or maybe it's got to be 10 times. If they visit that page 10 times, then this condition will be met. So you determine how many times they have to visit the page. I'm going to say 2. So they have to visit the page 2 times. Or you choose greater than or equal to 2. So if they visited 2 times or more, then this condition is met. That sounds good to me. I'm going to click on Publish. Creating this condition doesn't do anything on its own. You have to tie it to something else. And I'm going to tie it to a logic bar. Just going to click on logic bars on the left. We can also tie this to a logic block. We can set this up in Divi. We can set it up in Elementor, which we're going to do in just a minute. But first, let's do the logic bar. So I'm going to click on Add New to create a new logic bar. I'm going to call this Product 1 Discount. Display when select a condition. You notice all of these on the bottom look very similar. Those are the ones we had in the logic block that we were creating earlier. But when we now have the additional Product 1 Discount that we just created, if you create a logic block, it'll have this as well. So it appears in all the places where you can select a condition. And now if this condition is met or not met is the option. So if this one is met, if they visited the page more than 2 times, 2 or more times is the condition, they will see this message. Would you like a discount? Let's add on Product 1. And then click here for the discount. So you add a link in here. If you're using WooCommerce, you can actually have the discount code as a query parameter in the URL. WooCommerce documentation will show you how to do that. And you can go right to the cart page and have the discount applied automatically. And then we have a button or an X to close out this bar. So people can close it if they want. You can remove this if you want the bar to not be closable. It's up to you. Then we can change the colors pretty easily. Color picker. And that is very loud. Let's try this one. That's loud too. Anyway, change the colors of the background, the font, the link, the button. And this top bar can be sticky or not sticky. Sticky means when someone scrolls down the page, it stays at the top of the page and follows them down. Not sticky means it just stays at the top of the page. When someone scrolls, they scroll right past it. So you choose the one that's appropriate for you. You can give it a drop shadow or not. I like the drop shadow effect. And you can customize the CSS as well down below. I'm going to click on Publish. And I'm going to copy this domain name and open incognito mode. Because I visited this Product 1 page before, and my session would have been cookied in the regular browser. And incognito mode should make it look like we're a first-time visitor. So if I visit Product 1, I should not see a banner at the top. So here's Product 1. It's not actually a product, just the placeholder page, basically. So now I visited it 1 time. Now if I leave this page and then go back to it, this should count as 2 times. And as expected, the product bar shows up at the top, and it's going to follow them around the website until they either press X or until they buy the product. And the next thing I want to show you is how to tie this into a Divi template. So let's head back into the dashboard, and I'm going to create a new condition by going to Conditions on the left here. Click on Add New. I'm going to call this Cities UTM Campaign. And the idea behind this is we have a landing page created in Divi. We're going to buy Google Ads to run traffic to it, and we're going to change out the name of the city on the page to match whatever the ad said. If it doesn't make sense to you yet, it should make more sense in just a minute. So we're going to have for our conditional statements, if query string variable, I'm going to call this UTM campaign, which I believe is the Google UTM parameter for that. I'm pretty sure it is. And if the value is, let's say, Los Angeles, then this condition is met. I'm going to publish this one. I'm actually going to update the title as well to be specific to the city. I'm going to copy this and make another one. Just going to do it in fast forward. Now we have a condition for New York and one for Los Angeles. And I'm going to go into Pages. Just going to control click to open that in a new tab. I already have a Divi page created here. I'm going to click on Edit with Divi. The landing page, this is right from the Divi landing page repository, so I didn't build this myself. But we are going to change out some of the content on here based on conditions. So let's pretend this is a bakery that's nationwide, or at least they have locations in Los Angeles and New York, which are the conditions we created, and we're running Google Ads to this. So I want to add to this title, Baked Fresh Daily in LA, because the ad we're sending to people in Los Angeles, they're going to be in Los Angeles. And so we want to have this landing page reflect that. So now I'm going to go into I'm going to click out of this and go to the gear for this block, this element. And we have a LogicHop option up here. And this wasn't added by the main LogicHop plugin. There is an additional LogicHop for Divi extension in the WordPress repository. It's free, so if you have LogicHop, you can just download it from the repository, add it to your site, and you'll get this little option inside all the Divi widgets. Click on the down arrow for text, and now we have our LogicHop conditions. So if we leave it as always display, this will always display. But we don't want that. We want to have a specific condition, which in this case is Cities UTM campaign, LA. And display this when the condition is met. Click on the check mark, and now I'm going to duplicate this. And I'm going to change it to New York. And then click on the gear again, go to LogicHop, and this one I want to display when New York condition is met. Click on the check mark, and now let's save this. Only in the editor will these both appear at the same time because they are mutually exclusive. So if we exit the Visual Builder to view the actual page live on the site, we have our landing page without the headline. And now if we add in here, question mark UTM campaign equals Los Angeles, it may not like that space in there. Let's add a %20. URLs can't have spaces, and %20 is the code version, the URL code version for space. So this is Los Space Angeles according to computers. Not according to humans, but according to computers it is. And we see that it did pick it up, and it says Baked Fresh Daily in LA. Now if we change this to New York, %20 New York, this should switch out to New York, and it does. So the UTM parameters, I usually use the Google Campaign Builder to create those. And if you've been running any kind of Google ads, any kind of ads really, you've encountered UTM parameters before. Really, once you're tracking your website traffic seriously, you would not publish a link anywhere on the internet without some kind of UTM parameter that can then be tracked inside Google Analytics and also used to personalize pages like this. If you have no idea what UTM parameters are, there's a tutorial in the description down below that shows you what they are and basically explains how they work. So now we've created a personalized landing page, personalized based on whatever ads are being run to specific locations in Google Ads. And you can do this for anything. Like I said, these UTM parameters can be on links anywhere in the internet. So if you publish content to Facebook, the UTM campaign, or there's 6, I believe there's 6 different UTM parameters or query strings you can use. That could be, it could be UTM campaign Facebook. And this title can be personalized to Facebook traffic. It could be YouTube, it could be Twitter, it could be a guest post you put on a blog. Say you guest posted on TechCrunch. It could say, welcome TechCrunch visitors. So it can be whatever you want as long as the UTM parameter or whatever the query string is in the link. LogicHop can detect it and personalize the landing page based on that. But I digress. What you're wondering, no doubt, is what happens when there's no UTM parameter in the URL. And we saw this a little bit earlier, but let's just illustrate this more clearly or more purposefully. We have no headline. And that's a problem. We want to have a fallback that shows something there when our expected conditions are not met. So we want to have some kind of headline here that's shown when Los Angeles and New York are not in the URL. The way we do that is we make a new condition. So I'm going to copy this one, just the title, click on Add New. I'm going to paste it in here. I'm going to call it not LA or New York. And for the if, we're going to select query string before, or as before, sorry, and UTM underscore campaign. And value is not in list is the one we want. And the list is comma separated values. In this case, Los Angeles and New York. So if the variable UTM underscore campaign in the query string is not Los Angeles or New York, this condition will be true. So let's publish this. Now we're going to create a headline that is the fallback that's going to appear when the query string does not have Los Angeles or New York, which is every other case, because we only have 3 cases. Either it has Los Angeles, or it has New York, or it has neither. So now that we have that condition, we are going to click on Enable Visual Builder to open the Visual Builder for Divi. Now in the Visual Builder, we have our Los Angeles, New York headlines here. I'm going to duplicate this one. I'm going to change the text to Baked Fresh Daily. Then we'll click on the gear icon, go to LogicHop, choose Cities UTM campaign, not LA or New York. Save this page. Now let's click on Exit Visual Builder, and there we have it. We have nothing in the URL, and we have our fallback. Just to confirm this is actually working how we expect it, let's go to Los Angeles. I have to add this question mark in here, otherwise that won't work. My bad. So here we have Bake Fresh Daily in LA. Take that out again. And we're back to Baked Fresh Daily. That's how we can use conditional logic in a Divi template. Now I'm going to show you how to do it in Elementor. Let's go ahead back into a dashboard. Go to Pages, All Pages. Click on Edit with Elementor for this Elementor personalization page that I already created. And this is another stock landing page, so nothing too special. And we're going to just switch out the headline like we did in Divi. The original is Workout in Style. If you click on this pencil here and go to Advanced, and then go down to where it says LogicHop, we have very similar options. In fact, the exact same options, just a bit less text, as we see in Divi. And for the LogicHop condition, we're going to say not LA or New York for the default one. Now I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate this 2 times. I'm just going to change it to in LA, in NY. Click on the pencil, Advanced, LogicHop, condition, LA is true. Pencil, Advanced, LogicHop, condition, NY. I'm going to show you a little trick in the Elementor editor. We can hide these extra headlines because it's really difficult to edit a page and make it look right when you have all this extra stuff. So we can hide these sections by going to the navigator and opening the correct section. Pretty sure it's this one. And then hiding the headings that aren't needed. You even rename these to say Los Angeles heading, New York heading, and maybe Los Angeles button. And so you can hide them from the editor. This does not hide them from the front end of the website. Just hides them in the editor so it's easier to work. I'm going to click on Update. Then I will preview this page. I'm not going to preview. I'm going to go right to the live URL. And here's our default, Workout in Style. If we add in UTM campaign, it goes Los Angeles. It's replaced with LA, and then New York. That didn't work out. There we go. New York. It's now replaced with NY. And that's how easy it is to personalize landing pages. Doesn't stop with just switching out words in the page. Like I said just a moment ago, you can switch out pictures, buttons, paragraph text, entire posts if you want to, headlines. You can add in personalization from CRMs, if you know their name and their email, or if you even know that their favorite dog is a poodle, you could have that on the page if you have that data somewhere. And you can even switch out CSS. Maybe if you're targeting, let's say, females to go to a gym or to work out, this might be a great landing page, but this might not appeal to men. So you want to have a male working out, possibly. Maybe change this color from purple to something more manly. And you can do that by switching out either the element itself, but with LogicHop, you can also add conditional CSS. So if the New York condition is true, you can actually have specific CSS applied to the page. And that CSS changes whatever it's being applied to, which is pretty darn awesome. Something else that's pretty nifty, if we go to Appearance and then Widgets, every widget now that is available and then you add with different plugins now has a LogicHop condition list, so you can customize all the widgets that appear on your site. So if you have someone come in with the Los Angeles query string, URL parameter, UTM campaign, whatever you want to call it, if you have that, then you can display widgets based on that, and it follows them around the site. So you can have the entire site customized to Los Angeles or customized to New York. That would take a lot of work to do that, but it is possible. It's something you can do. You can also geolocate WooCommerce shop items. And Michael, the developer of LogicHop, has a tutorial that I've linked to down below in the description that shows you how to implement the WooCommerce geolocation with LogicHop, and it's pretty awesome. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, check that out, link in the description down below. And not that what I've shown you so far isn't powerful enough, LogicHop can be more powerful with more integrations, like this WooCommerce one I just mentioned. If we check out this page on their site, they have even more integrations. We checked out Elementor, we just discussed the WooCommerce one, Gravity Forms integration, Beaver Builder, Google Analytics, HubSpot, Divi we saw, Drip, which allows email marketing automation, HubSpot as well, Facebook Pixels, ConvertKit, same thing, and Markdown Display. And those are great integrations that allow you to level up your personalization. And with these in place, you can create pretty much any kind of personalization you want. Before we wrap this up, I just want to let you know that Michael did offer an exclusive discount to the WP Learning Lab channel. There's a link in the description down below to their site, as well as the coupon code, which is 20% off recurring. So this is a monthly subscription, but recurring, you can get 20% off. If you go to the pricing page, when you pay annually, the basic plan starts at $50 a month. This is good for 10,000 visitors. You're able to do everything I showed you in this tutorial, and you can even use it on unlimited domains that you own, not just the one that you register with. So that's pretty awesome. And if you're selling any kind of product volume at all, you can sell more with personalization. It's been proven. You just have to implement it properly. It takes a bit of trial and error, but there's a lot of case studies out there. LogicHop offers a lot of resources. LogicHop also offers a lot of recipes, which you can import directly. Like the WooCommerce geolocation recipe, if you watch the video I linked to down below, that can actually be imported right into your site. You don't have to set up the conditions yourself manually. There's a bunch of conditions that are added, 3 of them, I believe. And then you can go and edit them. You can create more of the same, but it gives you a running head start. And like I said, if you're selling any kind of product or you plan to, personalization is definitely something that can help you sell more. And LogicHop is a great way to implement personalization on your site. So that's how you can personalize your website with LogicHop. It's pretty straightforward once you wrap your head around the conditions and how to apply those on your site. I hope this video helps you. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you click subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss any future videos. And next up is watching this video up here, which shows you how to build an entire website out of Elementor, a full business website build. So check that out. Down here is the video that YouTube thinks you should watch. And my name is Bjorn Allpass from WP Learning Lab. And until next time, keep crushing it, and I will see you in the next video.